What's up, guys? Here's a trade review on my Nasdaq short today. Um, Gave it a B plus setup wise. Though executions and stuff, I feel like I did pretty good. But the trade setup was just a really hard trade setup, so that's why it's a lower grade, maybe even a B, just because I think it is a B actually. It's a B because the setup is just really hard. It was a good setup. It's the setup that I always look for. It's my playbook setup, but the finding an entry was so difficult, and I really need to work on this setup to be able to, or at least the nuances for this type of entry. Creating the SMT, because this is just, I mean, these are playbook models more or less, not setups, because they always set up different. But anyways, yeah, it was just a hard one, so I can't expect myself to be perfect here because they are hard. Sometimes I'll get bad exits or sorry, entries, and you know, so this one just is not my ideal setup, though I am definitely going to take it. It's a B, so I mean the risk reward's there. So high probability. Anyways, yeah, conviction was a 7, maybe actually a 6 now that we're talking here. This is why I do these. Helps me really get a third person perspective now that I know someone might be watching. But anyways, here's the trade. You can see here from this high to this high there was an SMT with ES, and then from this high to this high there was a reverse SMT. You can see here I entered here and quickly got out. This was because I realized I was just chasing price, though it wasn't terrible. I just didn't want to hold this knowing that, maybe I need to reevaluate where I got in. So didn't want to have a large drawdown, even though it was really small. So anyways, luckily it came back, but this was where it was difficult. Yes, we had an SMT, but here we go. Here's some more details here. So yes, we had the SMT, but it was just so tricky because YM had not cracked these relative equal highs up here. And then suddenly we did create that last confirmation there. So this would have been, right here would have been the correct entry, the best entry. But I was already in, and that's why this is just a tough setup because it's like, yeah, I think that most of the things were there. So it was just hard knowing that we did get the double confirmation. Actually, let me relook at that. Um, yeah, having this manipulate up here was like the real trade setup. Um, it's lower probability when we get an entry without the YM, though it was still there. Anyways, anywho's, flows the last few days. The reason why this is a double comfy setup model is because we had super bearish flows. Thought I sent some, didn't have any flows in here. We had really bearish flows. Let me just screenshot. What happened to them? Oh, there we go. I was like, what the fuck? Cool, 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 cool. So yeah, here's the flows on Nasdaq. You can see here that, I mean, puts just went crazy yesterday, and then we went up. So I already knew that we were bullish because of the SMTs at the lows. I was like, okay, there's some sort of shenanigans going on here. I know that this is going to go down. I don't know for sure, but I'm very bearishly biased, and we're getting this crazy move up. So I was looking for a short, also because the flows from the last week were still really bearish, and we hadn't really confirmed that we were smart money had taken profits yet. So yeah, very hard entry. Flow was there. We had SMTs there. The area of interest was actually very specific. It was Here it was. This was the SMT that sent us lower where I missed the Tuesday massive trade. So this is literally the same trade. It is the same thing happening here. And first of all, we had Nasdaq head up higher and actually basically right into where the reversal was, whereas ES didn't. So that was interesting. And then we had YM take out this high. And then if you look left here, this is the SMT area where we had the big sell-off, and then we created even more SMT up into there, which led to the next sell-off here. If these are even lined up, I don't think these are lined up correctly, but are this sell-off here. So anyways, that was the area of interest. We had taken it out. We didn't necessarily need to take out the high yet. And then because we were creating a smaller time frame SMT right into the open, that's exactly where it's like, okay, it's probably gonna just sell off here. So yeah, we had everything there. It was just really tricky. Normally it's a lot easier when we just take out a high, but I think the time frame at which the SMTs formed and the areas that they formed into was enough to get in. So yeah, there we go. So yeah, I took exits pretty early. Got out here just because we were up way past 3R. We were up 4R right here. And then got most of it out there too, just because we're up super nicely. We're into an order block. And then, yeah, held the rest below this low. I knew we would come below this lows, which we eventually did, like straight down from there. So that was super easy to take profits. I was in with enough size. We had big enough range. It was just really easy. That's why I love these trades, because I can just get out basically whenever, and it's such a big win that it doesn't really matter. Obviously, more the better, but I do have a consistency rule on the account, which is really strict. So that's kind of makes it easy because then I can just get out really easy. And yeah, but later on, obviously, I'd look to hold. I probably would have held full size down to inside of this order block and then taken off a big chunk and then more down there, or even taking all of it off, holding the whole thing down into the top of this range and then some runners below it. So yeah, that's the only little nuance there. Yeah, good review, good trade. Let's get this one better with more conviction. And yeah, adios. There's the trade review.